Clash of Clans Podcast, Episode 3 of Boaz Presents. And I am back with the Clash of Clans for the fans in the stands. This is Boaz, and I'm here today with an interview with the YouTuber WitelightningHWD. I've been wanting to interview White for quite a while now, but this ended up being amazing timing because it's coming on the heels of this video that he released exposing the YouTuber Masterov for doing a whole bunch of shady shit. So in this interview, I'm able to ask him the questions that I had from before that I was curious about, as well as getting a chance to delve into the whole Masterov issue. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And just a quick disclaimer for anyone who might be listening to the podcast for the first time. It's usually best to listen through a podcast app, like the one that comes on any Apple device. You can also download them on the Google Play Store. Just a little nicer than streaming it on the website, because you can pause it, jump around without worrying about it starting over and things like that. So yeah, enjoy the interview. Okay, I am here with WitelightningHWD. Thank you so much for joining me, White.
Thank you for having me, bro.
So my first question for you is about your names, the two different names you go by, WitelightningHWD and then Mystic7 with a L instead of an I.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, first of all, where did White is it White Lighting or White
Yeah, it's
Lightning?
White Lighting. Interestingly enough, I get this question probably every day because a lot of people are confused. So now so it started with Mystic. Okay, so all right, let me get into this. So Mystic7 is my Xbox gamer tag, right?
Oh, okay.
And I originally made my YouTube channel for Xbox and Call of Duty games. So my YouTube channel was originally a Call of Duty channel, and it was Mystic7. And then I had like 100 subscribers, so I decided to transfer that onto Clash of Clans. But that's where the Mystic7 came from. And the WitelightningHWD, that was my old Game Center, what is it? My old Game Center account that I used for Clash, I guess. And then or my brother used, I don't know. But it was supposed to be White Lightning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause I don't know, some AC/DC song like Tequila White Lightning, like that was the lyric.
Mm-hmm.
And that was actually my old Xbox gamer tag. So when I had that as my Xbox gamer tag, I had to put lighting because lightning was taken, and HWD, my uncle helped me. It's really complicated, but yeah, that was like my old HWD was my old Xbox gamer tag,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when I made my Game Center account, which is why my in-game name is White Lighting, and then I changed my gamer tag to Mystic7, and then made a YouTube off of the Mystic7, so that's why my YouTube's Mystic7. So yeah, that's been asked like at least a bazillion times. So
well, figured I'd get So the L instead of the I, is that basically just because Mystic7 with an I was taken?
Yeah, see, now unfortunately I didn't think this through. Like, okay, when people search for my name, they might be able to find. No, when you search for okay, this was back when I wasn't that popular. When you search for Mystic7 with an I, I wouldn't show up at all. And yeah, so I was really regretting doing it with an L, but whatever. It works now, so it's all good.
And so the same thing with the spelling of White Lighting is just that with the WHITE and with the N in there, They were just taken when you were doing it?
Yeah.
Oh.
My uncle made that for me. I don't know. There's just, I guess I'm just trying to confuse people, I think, because people are confused about why each name is one spelled wrong, White and Lightning are both spelled wrong. Nobody knows what the hell HWD means, and Mystic is spelled wrong, and they're not even related to each other. So people are like, what is wrong with this guy? So
Well, that's interesting because I was like, there must be some big, reason for it, some mysterious symbolic thing that's interconnected, and so it turns out that there's just not. So
it's totally random, yeah. It's just the way that everything fell into place. Yeah, I do get that question a lot, though.
Right, well, thank you for clearing that up then.
Yeah, no problem.
So the next question I have for you is to give a little bit of background about yourself, who you are outside of the game.
Outside of the game, what do you mean by that?
How old you are, I mean, I guess
gotcha.
However much you want to get, where you live, what you like to do, stuff like that.
So,
whatever you want to share.
Yeah, so my social security number, So I'm 17 at the moment. I turned 17 in October. I live in California. The state's gonna go, or the city is gonna go. And I live in the Bay Area, like by San Francisco in California.
Okay.
Junior in high school. And yeah, that's pretty much like age and location, I guess.
Mhm.
Nothing
So,
super special.
how long have you been doing YouTube?
So I started my channel with Call of Duty, which was like I think a little bit over a year ago,
Mhm.
and I bought like an HD PVR, and like that's like the crappy version of an Elgato, and I started doing that, and then that wasn't really kicking off because there's like 1,000,005 Call of Duty YouTubers, so I just
Mhm.
wasn't really doing anything with that. So and then I started playing Clash, and I guess this can also answer the question like how did I get into Clash YouTubing? One of my clanmates back like way when I started the game, this was back in the Fog, and I was in that clan forever, and a lot of people know me from the Fog. Um, but when I was in that clan, my friend was a YouTuber, and he only had like 300 subscribers or something like that, right? But I thought it was really, really cool that, like, oh my God, there's a YouTuber in my clan. That's kind of sick. So I decided, hey, I might as well try it out myself. And I made one video at Town Hall 7, and then I like quit for like a couple months, and then I did it again at Town Hall 8 and started making more videos. And it was my second video that I ever made that what got me like initially popular, I guess you can say. That was my how to get to Masters League at Town Hall 8 video back when hogs were like really OP.
So yeah, so I guess the thing about your popularity leads me to this other question I was going to ask later, but it's the thing that I'm kind of most curious about with you,
Uh,
just the way that your name is thrown around in the Clash of Clans community. You seem to be possibly the most well-respected YouTuber out there. People are always, whenever someone's talking about videos, they always bring up your name, especially with, the balloons and minions, stuff like that.
yeah, yeah.
But your subs, your subscribers, although it is impressive, your number, it doesn't really stack up against those top guys out there.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm curious why you think that is.
Why? Wait, what was the question
Like
again?
when when you seem to be, from what I gather in my experience with people, so popular and well respected, but
Uh-huh.
your subscriber count isn't the same
Oh,
as,
gotcha.
Daddy and Godson and Chief Pat, stuff like that.
Yeah. See, what I think that's mainly because is they started YouTubing when the game came out, right? Which was like what, like 2.5 years ago, somewhere around there. And
Ah.
I didn't even know that there was YouTubing existing around Clash of Clans when I started playing the game. So I started my channel like a year ago, and that's when they were already kind of like all set up and popular.
Mhm.
But I don't know, but like recently, I've been grinding kind of hard, and I've been gaining insane numbers of subscribers lately. So
Mhm.
I should be at 100K pretty soon here. I'm almost at 70K. I might hit that tomorrow actually, or the day after. So I'm growing really quick now, but if I would have, if so this is what probably every smaller YouTuber thinks, if I would have downloaded the game when it came out and started
Mhm.
YouTubing right away, I could be as big as Pat or Flammy, or those hundreds of thousands, right? But I'm one of the unfortunates who downloaded like a year after it came out, but
Well,
I
you're
mean,
making you got good momentum going on
yeah,
though,
yeah,
so.
it's all going good.
But it seems like there are people who have started more recently
Uh-huh.
who, so I kind of have a little theory about it, which is that you aren't promoted by Supercell. Like there's
Oh,
other
that's a big one.
guys
I forgot to even mention that.
there's other guys who, people have heard of, but generally say, yeah, he's got a lot of subs, but he's a crappy attacker, or
Uh,
stuff like that. He's got a lot of subs, but he's kind of annoying.
yeah,
And Supercell flies them out to Finland, and which Supercell putting out their videos, tweeting links
yeah,
to
yeah,
their
yeah.
videos gets
Advertising.
them so many subscribers. Why doesn't Supercell promote you?
Well, here's the main reason why I'm probably not going to get promoted by Supercell ever. Actually, we'll probably get into this later, but this most recent video might turn that around. But in videos I posted like last summer, I talked a lot of smack about Supercell. I'm not sure if you were following me then, but my Let's
Oh.
Rants videos, like I really kind of got into some stuff and talked a load of stuff about Supercell and their updates and their whole way of running Clash. And I'm sure I'm sure they saw those. I'm sure they hate me. And I've tweeted a lot of like annoying and or angry stuff at Supercell and gotten a
Uh,
lot of like favorites and retweets. So I know they saw those. So yeah, I haven't had the best history with them. Like I'm not against Supercell in any way, shape, or form
mm,
now. And now that this video that I released recently kind of went out, I know that reps from Supercell have watched it, so hopefully that their opinion of me has changed if it was negative before. But yeah, I don't think they're going to be advertising me anytime soon or flying me out. But that's all right. I've grown to this point without him, and I don't really need him to get popular. Otherwise, it would be helpful, but it's not a necessity for me.
I think, although it would gain you, a bunch of subscribers overnight,
no
it's
doubt.
kind of, you have the status of kind of like the people's champ,
Yeah.
who's so big without needing, the handout from Supercell and the, all the extra promotion and everything. So that's some kind of advantage, at least some kind of consolation for for
exactly.
being left out, not getting to go to Finland and eat at fancy restaurants.
I just want to go hang out with the Finnish people.
Well, so I was that didn't even occur to me, the thing about being critical of Supercell. I was assuming that it was the fact that you use a lot of profanity, which
that
everybody
too.
obviously
Yeah.
loves, but I don't really watch the really mainstream popular guys as much. Do they use profanity and stuff in their videos, or do they keep it pretty
No,
PG?
in order to get advertised by Supercell, you need to be professional, and you need to be able to appeal to kids, because most of the audience for Clash of Clans, at least, are under the age of 18, right? Most of them are kids, and a lot of them are really smaller kids. And even if you're not trying to appeal to a 6-year-old audience, you want to be able, as a YouTuber, to appeal to physically as many possible people as you can. So you want to be able to be you want to be amusing to older people, but you want to be appropriate for younger people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Supercell will advertise people like Molt, or Clash on GAN gets advertised by a lot. And he's an example of just because you get advertised by Supercell doesn't mean that you'll get famous overnight. I passed him in subscribers, and he's a good YouTuber, but if your main income of subscribers is just solely from Supercell advertising you, it's kind of hard to gain on your own, which is kind of why I like my situation. But I don't know. Yeah, you definitely got to be at a certain level of maturity and professionalism to be able to have the advantage of being advertised by the developers. But,
do you think your age has anything to do with it? They can't promote people who are
No,
minors
actually.
or something? Or...
You know who Madden Davinic is, right?
Yeah.
When he's 15 years old right now.
Really?
He's
been
young
around for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he sounds like he's 20. Yeah, he's been here forever, and they fly him around. I'm pretty sure they fly him around. And I don't know if I've never seen them advertise him on YouTube. That's basically because his videos aren't guide videos. His videos are more relevant to what's going on in the top clan community.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not really something that appeals to the entire audience.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure if he made guide videos and whatnot, that they would advertise him, because he's a cool guy, great YouTuber. But yeah, he's 2 years or 1 year younger than I am. So
Wow.
It's not age, but
Interesting.
yeah, I guess it's just professionalism is what does it.
So I had heard this stat that actually there's kind of this conception that most Clashers are kids, it's a kids game, etc.
Yeah.
But that actually now the vast majority of players are adults, just because it kind of takes so much patience. A lot of kids start, and then once the upgrades are 2 weeks long, they're like, screw this, I'm gonna do, whatever else. But I would imagine that probably still in the YouTube viewers would be
it's more younger. Yeah, because as an adult, typically you have the capability of being able to figure out how to play, and especially because a lot of adults like strategy games, right? I'm in love with strategy games. A lot of and usually people can kind of figure it out on their own without having to look up. And even if they look up, that's why those beginners guides get a lot of views, because a lot of people look up how to play initially, but once they get the hang of it, they don't really need it. And especially with adults, they aren't as amused with us YouTubers, just because some people are boring, some people play it really low level things, some people are just mainly to appeal to the younger crowd. So I don't know. There are adults who watch YouTube, but I find that it's a lot more of a younger audience, because they just and they have more time on their hands to just kind of sit and watch YouTube.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing, because here at the podcast we have a large listenership, but it's almost exclusively adults. And
yeah.
I think for one thing, just the idea of radio versus TV. Radio is kind of more of an old school medium, but also they all listen to it while they're on their commute, while they're mowing their lawn, stuff like that, because they're busy. They don't have as much time to just, be hanging out and watching and stuff. And so yeah, that definitely makes sense that would be kind of the difference there. But even kids love swearing and love, people being funny and stuff. So
yeah, like Clash with Cam is a great example of that. He's got like 160K subscribers around there, and he's got like 70,000 active subscribers. And for his subscriber amount, that's completely insane. And he swears in his videos, and he's a really funny guy. And that's just kind of an example of like getting to a really great, successful position in this community. One, with swearing and with profanity and with, just being goofy. And two, without the help of Supercell. Like, you don't need their help, and you don't need to be like really professional about things to gain in this community. But it's a hell of a lot easier if you are. That's why my growth isn't amazing, because I don't have that kind of backing and support by the developers. But I'm still growing, so it really doesn't matter to me.
You're more grassroots instead of the So that's something I've been kind of curious about. I've heard thrown around recently: active subscribers versus just the subscribers that anyone can see when they go to your channel and see it listed. How do you find out how many active subscribers you have?
Well, active subscribers will typically. So let's take Chief Pat for example. He has 1.2 million subscribers, and in the first day of a video, he'll usually average between, I'd say, 90 to 150K depending on the video, and then over maybe in a week that video, like a single video from him, will be anywhere between 1 to 300,000. So like, I would say that your active subscribers depends on how many video views you get within the first 5 days.
Okay.
Because your loyals will be in the first hour, like your really loyals will be in the first day, and then because not everyone can watch videos that come out same day at the time. Like I know me, I'm subscribed to a lot of a lot of YouTubers, and I will go through my subscription feed and like put videos in my watch later folder, and I'll go watch it when I can. I can't really watch videos like right when they come out. So, as days go by, views stack up. But really, if you look at a YouTuber's average views per video, that's about how many active subscribers they have. You can have like a million you can have 1 million subscribers and only a couple thousand active subscribers. I've seen that before,
Yeah.
And that's just a result of not posting, or your channel just kind of going dead.
Because people don't generally go back and unsubscribe if they're not really watching you anymore, unless they have
just
a
stop
reason,
watching.
or they're trying to be angry at you for whatever reason. Or alrighty, well, that kind of clears it up. I've been so curious about that, just because there's such a massive discrepancy between your kind of perceived popularity and then the statistical popularity that you have with okay, so back to the game. What would you say is your favorite part? Farming, pushing, or war?
So, all right, I just want to throw it out there that I suck at wars, and I absolutely hate them. So that's definitely not my favorite. I'm terrible.
All right.
That's just because I'm not good at go wee wee, and that's all I can use. I'm a decent farmer. Like I almost have 800 million gold grab. I have a level 30 king, level 27 archer queen. Decently leveled up base. So I'm a good farmer, and I can farm up a base if I want to. But I would so much rather trophy push. That's just that's what I got popular for on YouTube, and that's just kind of like what I'm better at. And I don't know. It's just it's like it's the adrenaline you get in a trophy push that makes it so much more fun than farming. Because farming is to me it's kind of boring. You just kind of sit there and stack up on loot. It's very very it feels great knowing that you maxed your storages and or you're getting your base leveled up. But personally, it just feels so much better being up in high leagues, because with that, I get to go visit all my friends in top clans, and I get to hang out. And I don't know why, but I love top clan politics. Like getting into all that kind of stuff. It's just I don't know, it's fun for me. And being able to be up high in leagues is fun too. So I would say trophy pushing.
So a lot of people might know this about you. Excuse me. A lot of people might got a little something there. A lot of people might know this about you, but you have been the record holder for Town Hall 8 and Town Hall 9 at different points in your career.
Actually, not a lot of people know that about me. It's me.
Oh, okay. Well, now they do.
Exactly. There we go.
So I'm guessing that back when you did it, the game was different than it is now, and So if you could describe your, first of all, to Town Hall 8, describe your push to the Town Hall 8 record. Like, when was it?
I
What comps you
would
used? Stuff like
love
that.
to. I've actually been meaning to make a video explaining all these points because not a lot of people understand what Clash was like before a lot of stuff happened, and not a lot of people really understand. I get tweets all the time saying, "Oh my gosh, look, this guy is Town Hall 5 or Town Hall 8, and he broke your Town Hall 9 record." And it's like, okay, he broke my trophy record, which is going to happen, but nobody ever again will break my my rank record, and I'll get into that later. But so Town Hall 8 trophy pushing. Back when I was at Town Hall 8, there was no such thing as Town Hall sniping for pushing. Getting to Masters in general was a really, really great accomplishment. Like at Town Hall 10, getting to Masters was like a really good accomplishment, right? And getting to Champions was like for only like strictly top players or people with max bases, very, very elite people, right? And so getting to Masters was a huge thing. And getting to Masters at Town Hall 9 back then was really, really hard to do. So getting there at Town Hall 8 was like, it was impossible. I think I was the first or second YouTuber to ever post a video or a series of Town Hall 8 getting to champion, like ever, which is why that video that I have has so many views. But with this push, what I had to do is I used Hog Riders. This was back before they were nerfed, and this was back before Inferno Towers had multi. But they were still extremely like hard to use at Town Hall 8. And basically what I did is I had to raid dead or inactive bases and gain like that. But it just, the satisfaction of raiding back then and beating a base, it was so much more than it was now. Because now it's just like, I can beat virtually any base and it's just not much of a challenge anymore. But back then, like the adrenaline from every raid, like, it was awesome. And it was really, really fun, especially as a Town Hall 8. And defense was horrible in the Crystal Leagues back then. Like I'd get hit for a lot of trophies. And I'd have to Town Hall snipe my way to Masters, but that couldn't get you there back then. I had to like actually raid bases with, hogs. And get the 2-star, get the 1-star, So like back then for a Town Hall 8 pushing, you had to actually raid the base with hogs. There was no other way to do it other than with hogs. This was like before dragons and before Town Hall sniping, so it was like actually raiding your way up there.
So when you held the well, first of all, what was your Town Hall 8 record?
Town Hall 8 record for the longest time I think was it was 2990. I think was the record that I held. I was only 10 away from Masters 1. Masters 1, I actually remember exactly how I lost my Masters 1. I remember which house I was in. I remember the whole situation. I remember the clan. I like this whole thing. I can recall you the whole thing if you would like me to. I mean,
yeah, go for it. It sounds like it's probably a recurring nightmare for you.
What happened is that I got to 2990 cups at Town Hall 8. Absolutely incredibly insane. Almost Masters 1 at Town Hall 8. Never heard of before, right? And I was in the fog, and we were in a trophy push. And I remember I have a house in Seaside, which is down by Monterey. And I was laying in my bed. It was 12 o'clock at night, and I got my 6-hour boot, so I got kicked off. And I got back on, and I got 3-starred by some guy in Champion for -3. So I was like, oh damn, I only need 13 cups until Masters 1, or I can just kind of sleep my shield off and wake up in the morning and get it. And I got greedy, and I broke my shield, and then I lost. I think 2 or 3 raids in a row, and I went down like 150 cups in 2 hours. And I was pissed. I was raging like in clan chat. Like I was just, it was bad. It was probably like the most demoralizing time I've ever had at Town Hall 8. I was so mad. So that's how I lost getting Masters 1 at Town Hall 8. But I mean, I still set the record. The record was 2990 up until Sparhawk he got to Champions at Town Hall 7. And then when he upgraded his Town Hall to 8, that's when my record was finally broken at Town Hall 8.
So he actually surpassed your Town Hall 8 record as a Town Hall 7.
As a Town Hall 7. Yeah, but that was like I don't know, half a year later maybe when Town Hall sniping.
When sniping was a big thing, which is so when was that you had that Town Hall 8 record? When did you set that?
That was, here, I will go look it up right now in my videos. This will only take me a second. That was a very, very long time ago. Let's see. That's like, my second video that I ever posted.
And do you remember what the previous record was before you broke
it? There was no recorded previous record. It was just absolute. No. Like this was before trophy pushing at lower town halls was even popular.
Oh, okay.
Like again, this was like I was probably like the first or second YouTuber to ever post a Town Hall 8 pushing series to Masters on YouTube. Let's see, Masters 2. I think it was somewhere in October or November of 2013. So around like a little bit over a year ago. Oh, here, it was November 1st was when I made this video. So yeah, it was like a little bit over a year ago. Oh, sick. I got a 15-second ad on my own video. Cool. Not gonna watch it. But yeah, so it was like over a year ago, back when, that's when actually like rating took you to places.
So then, yeah, I really want to get into town hall sniping and things like that. But I guess first I should hold off and ask you about your push to the Town Hall 9 trophy record.
Ooh,
if you could break that down.
That was probably the best town hall I've ever been at by far. I'm not gonna like Town Hall 10. It's gonna be the end of me, I guess. Well, unless they bring Town Hall 11 out, but Town Hall 9 was definitely the best town hall ever. And so my initial push to champions at Town Hall 9, it had been done before. And the first person to ever do it really was Tyrael. His name was SS back then, and you guys have interviewed him previously. I watched that one. He was the first one to really pioneer Town Hall 9 Balloonian pushing to champions. So he did it first, and on my first push ever as a Town Hall 9 and with balloons and minions, I managed to get my way up to champions, which was awesome for me. Like I had like a really low level base, low level heroes, and I got my way up to champions with balloons and minions, and that was a really fun push. And I used Tyrael's guides and whatnot to get me there. And then I think I pushed the champs maybe one or two more times, and then I really started going serious about it. And by serious, I mean like actually like really trying for records and whatnot. And then in Sky 9, man, this was good times. This was back with what's his name, Modek, Joe Camp and Jess. So back when I was pushing, this was like months ago. I think I was going for top 200, top 100 US, somewhere around there. I got rated, I was at like 3,200, and I got rated by this Town Hall 9 named Jess, and she was at like 3,600, right? She was the record holder for Town Hall 9, and she rated me, and it was really ironic because later on that push, I ended up passing her up, and I got in like a neck and neck fight with Joe Camp, but we were like really supportive of each other. It wasn't really a race. It was more like we were helping each other out and kind of friendly battle up. And I think my end record was 37 30s, I want to say, or 37. No, it was 37.76. It was somewhere there in the 3700s, right? That was my end, and I think that was the highest a town hall, or the closest a Town Hall 9 has ever gotten to top 200. And my highest rank ever is top 24 or top 25 in the U.S. And that's, I assure you, will never get beaten by another Town Hall 9. And that's I still hold that record, but that doesn't matter. Not a lot of people pay attention to the rank record, which is what really counts. People more pay attention to what trophy count you got to. But yeah.
Well, I think that is going to start becoming less and less of something that people pay attention to now that there's this prevalence of town hall sniping, and it really, I think, just devalued the whole
it did,
pushing
big time.
process and everything. Like, it's kind of unfortunate that it's become so much less impressive for people to make these high trophy records because of town hall sniping. So that's what I'm a little curious about when you say that, back in the day before town hall sniping. So when and why did the whole phenomenon of town hall sniping start?
It started, from what I know, it started with Sparhawk as a Town Hall 7, pushing his way up to champions. And that's what really sparked it. People looked at this and they were like, oh my god, this is crazy. And he posted like a super long, super detailed guide on the forums on how to do it. And he had a clan, Apotheosis, which he still has. And he's gone crazy levels at Town Hall 8 as well. And he kind of like, I think he was the pioneer for Town Hall 7 and Town Hall 8 trophy pushing to champions with dragons using, either getting the 50% or Town Hall sniping. But I think what the issue nowadays is that there's like champions isn't even a challenge. Now, I don't want to knock on anybody who hasn't been a champions, but champions isn't even a challenge anymore. Mainly because there's so many people like playing this game now in the Masters and Champions League, farming, like not even pushing, just farming, that there's so many outside town halls that it's just like you can snipe your way up. The reason why people can't get to champions is because they underestimate themselves, overestimate champions, and they take, they don't wait long enough to find a base. Like, you can town hall snipe your way to champions, no problem. Or just right up there with like finding just really bad or low level bases nowadays. It's not a huge I mean, it's definitely a huge accomplishment. Getting champions, regardless of how easy it is, it's still, you still hit champions. It's still a pretty damn cool thing. But it's becoming less and less of a challenge. A Town Hall, I made a video on this. A Town Hall 5 hit 4,000 cups.
I was going to get to that. Yeah.
That like I have no more interest in going to 4,000 cups and making it such a big deal, because that alone is, don't get me wrong, this guy is extremely impressive, and that's insane that he did this, and I'm not knocking on him. I'm no more knocking on the system. But that just kind of like devalued like everything Champions League. Like getting to 4,000 cups before, it seemed impossible. But now, if just being able to know that you can Town Hall snipe your way to 4,000 cups just devalues it to a point that it's almost not even impressive to get anymore. And now it's more like, can you get to top 200? And that's what it's always been. And as the top 200 goes up, and it goes up every day, it gets easier and easier to get higher in trophies. But it's almost the same difficulty as it always has been to get to top 200, because that goes up. That's always up, and it's always harder to get to than previous trophy levels. So I will most definitely be going to 4,000 cups as a Town Hall 10. But as for top 200, I'm gonna need to put in a lot of time. That might be over the summer. But yeah, I mean, the push to 4K shouldn't be too difficult, because again, it's going to be Town Hall snipes, it's going to be low level bases, it's going to be Town Hall 7s, 8s, and 9s on my way up there. It shouldn't be crazy hard. But it's most definitely going to be a pretty awesome thing to do, and it's definitely going to be hard. But I mean, it's just, I don't know, just the fact that a Town Hall 5 can snipe his way up there is just incredible.
So I mean, would you say that it's more hard or just more time consuming?
It's all time consuming. There's no skill in putting troops down and destroying an outside Town Hall. Now, don't take me wrong. Again, I'm not trying to devalue these guys' achievements, because I made videos on these guys. I glorify these guys.
Yeah.
And I am extremely proud of them and what they've done. Because I'm a huge trophy pushing fanatic, and to see these guys at such low Town Halls, I'm like, I represent lower Town Hall pushing, because I do videos on all these guys, and I made it popular to do a Town Hall 9 for Balloonian. So I give these guys props, tons of props. But I don't know. It's just, if you think about it, it doesn't take a lot of skill, but it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time management, and it takes a lot of dedication, which is why what really makes it so impressive. It's not the skill part. It's just the time and dedication that they put in. That's what's impressive. That's what's really impressive.
Yeah, and you mentioned that you're kind of the, champion or representative of lower Town Hall pushing originally, which is why, there's so many people have so many thoughts and opinions on Town Hall snipers and just the phenomenon of tiny Town Halls making it up there. So you're the person I really most wanted to ask about it, because it's, kind of what you were known for. But when you were doing it, which, is what I knew from when you were doing it originally, is you weren't sniping, you were actually raiding, which is just a completely different, practice than the way it is now. So.
And defense was actually defense before. Like back when I was pushing in the 3600s, 3700s, I'd be getting hit every single defense for 20 to 40 cups of defense, and these guys, they go offline and they get Town Hall sniped as a lower Town Hall. So the defensive game as well, it's not even competitive anymore, because you put your Town Hall outside as a Town Hall 3 and you can get your way up to 3600 no problem,
because you get hit for one cup basically when you so it's basically just getting it's almost just like getting a shield for 0 cups. It's such a small but
so
go ahead.
So for a Town Hall 9, so Town Hall 9, the trophy record I think is like in the 4100s or like the 4000s, which is awesome. But for a Town Hall 9 to beat my record, they'd have to get about 4,363 cups to beat my record. So like, a lot of people are like, oh dude, your record's getting blown out of the water. Realistically, my cup amount record is being blown out, but my rank is not.
Yeah.
And I was within, what was my closest? I was within, I want to say like maybe 70 cups of top 200, and top 200 is at 4335. So it's more based on rank than the actual number. Because the number doesn't change, but the ranks, they constantly go up. The number just sits there.
And anyone who thinks that the number is more important than then the rank just doesn't really understand the
Yeah,
game
they don't
and
understand.
how
I'm not
the
trying to
game
rip on anyone.
constantly.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying, I'm not like defending them. I'm saying if they're, if they're like, oh, you did this and it's more important than the the world ranking or whatever, they just don't understand that this game evolves so quickly and it's just constantly, the war tactics, the trophy pushing records and everything. And so there's a famous war raider, Rancid from Reddit Troopers, who is just about max Town Hall 9. She's got maxed walls and
I actually know her very, very well.
Oh yeah, okay.
I do, yeah. She was part of the Fog, actually.
Oh yeah, I should have made that connection.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we used to be really close. Like we talk on Kick all the time. I've had some interesting conversations with her and stuff. I don't want to get into for reasons, but she's really cool. She's actually a super super cool person.
Okay.
And she came to visit me in Dolphin Stars, but I couldn't get online. I was kind of sad, but yeah, I'll have to catch up with her sometime because she's actually really really cool. I really miss talking to her.
Yes.
But what were you gonna say about her?
So what I was gonna say about her is that she's done everything at Town Hall 9 that you can do in terms of upgrading your base pretty much, and so she's trying to kind of hit different milestones or different goals before she eventually goes up to Town Hall 10. And so one of them is to break the Town Hall 9 trophy record.
Is she really gonna go for that?
She is. She's currently going for it, which is probably what she was stopping by Dolphin Stars to chat with you about.
Shoot, that's cool. What trophy range is she at?
She is at. She just started, I think, so I'm not sure if she's even in champion yet. I mean, it's going to be a long.
Yeah. Oh, it'll be a long haul, but that'll be cool. I'll definitely be supporting her through that. That's awesome though. That's really cool because I've known her for a while. She's a beast player, and that'll be really cool. Definitely to see her, especially somebody that I know personally, take the record. So actually, definitely be rooting for her for that. That's actually pretty awesome. I really didn't know about that.
And she's actually on Twitter now. I'm not sure if she would want me to give it out on the air, so I'll give it to you off air. But
I think I have it. Yeah, throw it to me. Yeah. I think I was there when she actually made her Twitter account.
Oh yeah.
I convinced her to make it. Yeah.
Nice.
I remember that.
Okay, so you already have a way to get in touch with her then. Well,
yeah.
So the reason I brought her up is that I was thinking, oh, that'd be so cool if she broke the Town Hall 9 record and everything, and but conceivably, she could break the Town Hall 9 record and still be quite a ways from the Town Hall 5 record at the time that she does it. And so it just makes it all so just, I don't know, puts a weird perspective on the whole thing. It's so impressive, especially if you're doing it, the right way, which is she's, using Lunian the majority of the time. I'm sure Town Hall sniping whenever she gets a chance.
Oh, yeah,
but
for sure.
Then it's just it's so much more impressive to me than someone who is just sniping. And I definitely, like you're saying, I don't want to put them down because that's cool. They're just taking advantage of the system that's in place, to do well. But so a question that I had for you is, what's the difference like now between a Town Hall 7 pushing to champion or pushing to 3600 or 4000 and a Town Hall 3 pushing there? How do those pushes differ?
So before we say this, I just want to say that Rancid, her name's Misty. She's probably the single most attractive Clasher girl I know in the community. I just want to toss. Do you know what she looks like? Have you seen her before?
I do not know what she looks like. I always assumed that she was like really
gorgeous.
Fat and hideous because I've never seen a picture of her.
She is absolutely gorgeous. So I just kind of want to throw that. She's really freaking hot. Yeah, she's really pretty.
Wow.
Yeah, so that makes it even more impressive. She's like model status, pushing to like the Town Hall 9 records with a max Town Hall 9 base,
Jeez, so she very carefully keeps her appearance hidden because she doesn't want people to, have it color their opinion of her and stuff like that. So she's
very, very pretty.
She doesn't publicize it.
Yeah, no, she's a beautiful girl. But okay, so back on the Town Hall 3. So the real difference is there is no difference except for the fact that Town Hall 7s have the advantage of having a decent sized army that could possibly 50% a Town Hall 10 if used correctly. And if they find a fellow Town Hall 8, Town Hall 7, they can probably 3-star them. That's the only advantage.
Oh, I didn't think about that part. Yeah.
They have that Dragon Army rating advantage, but that's about it. Defense will be the same, and they're gonna have to their main income from trophies will most likely be snipes.
And so the one thing I was thinking, I didn't even occur to me that yeah, there's other tiny bases up there because when I push, you see them so infrequently, but I mean they're obviously there because you see different screenshots of different people that are up there. But what I was thinking the only difference would be is in terms of when someone traps their town hall, because if you are a town hall 3 and someone has like a couple Teslas there,
Oh yeah,
then
yeah.
you're probably screwed.
Yeah, you're a little bit up the creek if that happens. I'm sure they're really, really cautious though. Like I'm sure more than one time before a lower town hall had to skip a town hall snipe because either the town hall was too like in the range of defenses or there was too big of a threat to traps. Because I, as a lower town hall, have skipped bases back when I was trophy bushing, mainly because just the uncertainty of where the traps are or how the base is laid out. It's like there might be a ton of cups offered, but just because there's cups there it doesn't mean you want to raid the base. You got to have that certain level of self control to kind of like think to yourself and say okay, this is an awesome cup gain if I win, but now if I lose, what happens? Is it worth the risk to do that? And usually it is, but with bases with possibly super duper trap town halls, it might not even be worth the try.
And sometimes it's just like a vibe that you get. Like this
Yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
is, it's just there's just something a little fishy
There's just something
here.
about this base.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I just think yeah. So well yeah, that's interesting. So it is there is definite advantage if you're a little bit higher town hall, but it's pretty much the same thing at this point. The
Yeah,
town hall 3, town hall 5, etc.
yeah.
So let me see. Oh yeah, so next question here. What pushers do you most respect throughout like your experience with the history of the game? I'm guessing
So
Sparhawk's probably up there. He's very
yeah.
famous and everything.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. Sparhawk, again, he's the pioneer of Town Hall 7 and 8 and below pushing. And I've talked with him several times, before in clan chat. I've made videos about him. I do respect him a lot as a pusher, but not so much to a personal level because he didn't contribute to my gains and my victories in this game. But I do respect him as a trophy pusher for sure. And he is a pioneer in what he does, which is awesome. Voice crack, what's up? But I think the person that I most respect, and I've mentioned this in countless videos, I praise this guy all the time, is Tyrael, aka the Clash Machine, aka old name was SS, right? And that's because it's his videos that originally got me to champions. It's his strategy that originally got me to champions. And he's just an awesome, really cool guy that I've really looked up to my whole entire Clash career, and that I've taken advice from, and that he's really both directly and indirectly helped me with almost every single success I've had in this game. So he's definitely way up there. And then there's other people like Madak. He was another Town Hall 9 trophy pusher that set the record after Tyrael. He's definitely way up there. I've pushed with him before, and it was awesome. Everybody in the original Sky 9 clan definitely up there with in terms of respect. And then there's people like Jess and Joe Camp who I have had the pleasure of pushing with as a Town Hall 9 and reaching some insane heights with them. So really all those people that shared that experience with me of Town Hall 9 trophy pushing, back when it was like legit.
yeah.
Those kind of people.
Yeah, that's interesting that it's so murky now to know
Yeah.
who's doing it, with how people are doing it.
Yeah,
and
with
everything.
IMOD or just Town Hall sniping, it's not much of a like and especially since now I don't want to make myself sound like better than I am, but with me not advertising pushing and who's on top, like who's the number one Town Hall 9, like it's not really monitored as much anymore, like because there's nobody posting about it in the YouTube community that has like a really really significant amount of subscribers anymore. It used to be me. I'd be posting, and Daddy as well. Him and I would both be posting a lot of stuff about, Town Hall 9 pushing, who's the top Town Hall 9 trophy record holder, a lot of stuff about that. And you used to always know, especially in a Town Hall 9 community or Town Hall 9 pushing community or, community of pushers in general, you'd always know who was number one for Town Hall 9 pushing because, that was just something awesome to get, the number one Town Hall 9 pusher. You'd always know who it was. But nowadays, I don't even know who it is. I'm pretty sure it's Q-Train. But just there's so many people that are so high in trophies that it's hard to monitor. Like usually, or not usually, back then, there was only like a handful of Town Hall 9 champions to begin with, and there's only like maybe like half a handful of people who got above 3,600. And we all knew exactly who those people were, what clans they were from. It was a really, really tight community. But now, there's more players, there's more diversity of Town Halls up in champions and whatnot. There's more Town Hall 9s way up there that it's just really hard to kind of keep track of everybody these days,
Yeah, and with the kind of two things, one, the tiny town halls pushing up there and people kind of paying attention to that, and then the actual top record, the literal record, which is all Town Hall 10s that are even near that. Town Hall 9s kind of get lost in the shuffle because you're not, you're not trying for the actual record, top record itself, and then you're, overshadowed by these little guys that are around the same area. And, well, yeah. Okay, well, I definitely wanted to get your thoughts on the whole thing of town hall sniping. So you mentioned that the old name for Tyrael was SS. Did that get changed because it was reported as an inappropriate name or something, or why did his name change?
Okay, so it wasn't reported or anything, but it was mistaken for an inappropriate name multiple times, and I'm sure he got a lot of crap for it.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if he did, but he might have. So it actually took them like a solid 6 months to change his name, and he had a legit excuse.
Wow.
So it's really hard to get your name changed in this game. But they changed it, and I guess it was for the better. Tyrael's a cool name. I actually really like the name.
Yeah.
So it was more for the appropriate reasons, that he just didn't want like anybody thinking that he was a Nazi. Yeah, trust me, he's not a Nazi. I promise you.
Well, what did SS mean then?
I am not. He explained it in a video, because I used to watch all his videos.
Mm-hmm.
He did explain it in a video, and he explained why he changed it and what it meant. And this was like a year ago, so I can't really remember. But I can't remember. But I do remember watching a video of him explaining it. But I don't remember which one it was or what he mentioned. But there was a legit reason behind it, and it wasn't Nazi affiliated. Trust me. But that's kind of why he got that name change.
So any listeners that are curious enough, you can go and check out Tyrael's old videos and see it in there. And I definitely want to shout out to Tyrael as well. He was kind of the one that the person that got me interested in YouTube. I saw some of his videos, and so I started watching YouTube, and then that led me to you and the other people that I've kind of been paying attention to on there and stuff. And so he's kind of the first one that got me into that as well. So you mentioned iMod as part of the whole, different shady stuff around Profi pushing. What are your thoughts on iMod?
So when I was back Town Hall 9, when I was pushing, iMod was it was a new issue in the community, and it really pissed me off because back then iMod was really, really powerful. I wouldn't say it was new. Actually, George Yao used it. It wasn't new, but it wasn't like. Oh yeah, I don't know if you know this, but George Yao, his trophy records were all the results of multiple accounts and botted third-party applications and stuff in iMod. Like, he wasn't legit at all, and I've talked a lot of smack about him in a lot of my videos because I have absolutely no respect for him. And back when I was really into the Town Hall 9 pushing and pushing politics, I was really, really passionate about just making sure people knew that he wasn't somebody to look up to, that he was a cheat. But now I could give a care less because everybody uses iMod, both to farm and to push. And I don't like the fact that it's in this game. It makes it harder for legit people to kind of do things, and it makes it a lot easier. It makes it easier to trophy push by far. It makes it extremely easy. And but I don't know. It's just not really. I find it to be not fair, but I don't have a problem with it right now. Okay, I shouldn't say that. Like, my gameplay isn't affected by it because, one, I'm not really avidly playing that much just because of all this YouTube crap going on. I haven't had a lot of time to play. And I don't know, I just, I'm not in the trophy pushing scene anymore, and it doesn't affect Clan Wars like it did before, so it really doesn't affect me. But the fact that it's still in the game and it's still being used and nothing's being done to take it down is kind of annoying, but it really doesn't like personally affect me. But I would like to see it taken away. I'm not really a big fan of people who use third parties to assist in their gameplay because they're not good enough to do it themselves.
Well, so I've talked on the podcast quite a bit about how it affects war, with sandboxing and things like that.
Oh, actually, I stand corrected. Sandboxing is a huge issue.
Yeah, and so how does it affect the process of trophy pushing?
So sandboxing affects trophy pushing to such a high level that I'm not sure if you've seen top players' bases, but their bases are
Oh
completely
yeah.
torn apart
Uh-huh.
before they go offline so that people can't practice on their bases.
Yeah.
And so the moment before they go offline, they put their bases together that's how it's supposed to be,
Mhm.
and then they go offline and then they get attacked. But they have to tear their bases up. Like this is how bad of an issue is now
Mhm.
that they have to literally tear their bases apart so that people can't practice raids on them so that when they go offline they don't get 3-starred, Like that's how
Mhm.
bad it's gotten. But again, I'm not really into the politics anymore because I haven't been in a top clan for months. But it's gotten really, really, really bad up there. So
Is there something that Supercell could do about it, do you think?
I'm sure there's ways to ban that from being used in the game, but I don't know. I don't. Hopefully it'll happen at some point, but I don't think it's going to. But I am. I'm like 90% sure that there's at least something that they can do to prevent this from being in the game. But again, God, dude, I'm getting killed over here. But I don't think it's gonna happen. Hopefully it will, but I'm not sure
Oh, okay.
because it's not like a huge complaint to them anymore.
Mhm. Yeah, 'cause that always seemed kind of interesting to me. There seemed like there are certain things that bother people so much, and that seem to me to be such a problem in the game that they just kind of don't address, or they just take so long to address. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I guess I'm not going to lead you down the path of criticizing them because I want you to be eating
Yeah.
food with Finnish people in the next,
Yeah,
you know.
I've done my share of complaining to Supercell.
So you mentioned George Yao, and there was an article that came out about him where he talked about how he did his trophy pushing and how he
I
set the
hate
record
him.
and everything. But he didn't talk about using iMod
You want to know why he didn't?
why.
'Cause he's a little bitch. That's why. He used, oh my God, he used so much. He had, multiple this was back when having multiple accounts and cheap shielding yourself was extremely frowned upon because people played legit. People played very legit back in the day. And he had he was breaking every single rule he could find. He used iMod, he used third party things. He was doing the same. I don't know if you remember this whole this was okay. So I used to be really in touch with all the top clan drama.
Mhm.
Drama. I'm gonna just leave in a minute here. God. But Muhammad Maher was the one who really exposed iMod. He was the one idiot to stay online for 2 weeks straight without getting attacked, without a shield, and he expected nobody to notice. Well, everybody noticed, and everyone's like, why is this guy number one and he hasn't moved in cups and he hasn't been attacked in 2 weeks? Because you can't buy a weak shield there.
Mhm.
He was the one idiot to just screw it up for everybody. So this is when Supercell really started looking to iMod and Sandbox and kind of trying to work stuff out. And this is when protests amongst the top clans started. And but George Yao used the same stuff. He used the same techniques to stay online after getting attacked, and he had multiple accounts to feed himself trophies. He did the same stuff as all these other guys, but it's just he won't fess up to it, and a lot of people, and this is kind of what irritates me sometimes, is a lot of people are like, well, okay, this was back when I was actually the trophy record holder. People were like, you don't hold the record, George Yao does, he's the highest town online. It's like, okay, for one, that was back when town online was the highest town online. For two, he cheated, man. I mean, like, I'm totally legit, and you're calling this cheat over here the number one. And I've talked so much smack to him on Twitter back when I was like really avidly pushing and God, and he wouldn't reply because he's a little bitch.
Well,
He would never reply to me. It was hilarious.
I don't want to to piss you off anymore, but someone I kind of forgot about him, just like pretty much most people in the Clash community just kind of forgot about him.
Yeah,
But
screw him.
but someone I think retweeted something from him or something the other day, and so I went to his account, and man, is he doing well for himself, parlaying
Oh, you have
his
no idea.
fame from just being the record holder for so long to, like, he was wearing these fancy suits, and he had all these tweets about this
And
fancy
he's like,
wine and his trips around the world. And
mainly because he's one of like the chief pieces of shit for Samurai Stage, which is a really popular game, and that's kind of where he gained his money from. Obviously, he gained a lot of popularity off of Clash of Clans and being the number one douchebag for a while, but his income and his success mainly came from kind of partnering up with Samurai Sage. But yeah, he definitely did gain a lot of popularity off of Clash, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, well, George Yao, if you're listening, fuck you.
I was gonna say that. That's great. Thank you. Thank you for saying that for me.
Okay. So talking about scumbags,
Oof.
let's
All right.
get to the next thing. There's a big a big controversy going on right now in the Clash of Clans community. I guess specifically the YouTube community.
Yeah.
And so for those of you who don't know, White recently released a video where he broke down the issue that's going on. So I highly recommend anyone who's curious go out, watch it. Really interesting. But so if you could just briefly break it down for our listeners who haven't had a chance to check it out or won't have a chance to check it out. What is the issue that's going on?
So now you mentioned it. This is a controversy. At this point, I wouldn't even call it a controversy anymore. It's more of, as you said, it's more of an issue. So basically, this guy Masterov, and I'm gonna try to keep professionalism in this conversation because I've kind of taken the high road in this whole situation. I don't want to kind of like break down. Trust me, I can go on a 3-hour rant just shit talking this guy because there's so many things that he's done that just makes me want to just like explode, right? But I'm not gonna do that. But this is what happened. This guy Masterov, and I'll try to keep this as brief as I can because I made a 25-minute video explaining this, and other people made videos in like less than 5, so I kind of went over the top. But what he did is that he broke YouTube's terms of service and illegally tagged his videos in a way that shot his videos up to #1 when you search for Clash of Clans, and that's what really gained him his popularity and fame on YouTube. And he's been accused by several people of using possible bots or third-party paid things to boost views. But I think the main issue is that he was using illegally meta-tagged videos to gain views and subscribers, and that's how he grew so fast. That's how he exploded from up to like 350K is what he's at right now. That's how he shot up that fast. No one's ever had that kind of a rise before without the help of other YouTubers of Supercell. He just came out of absolutely nowhere, and it's just because he broke YouTube's terms of service and illegally kind of gained his way up there. And only recently people were starting to find out. Like not a lot of people knew about this, and there were a lot of people starting to collaborate with him and whatnot. And until I released my video, a lot of people were either siding with him or were just kind of ignoring him because they didn't really know what the actual issue was. They just knew that something kind of fishy was up with this guy, but they didn't know what it was. But until I released my video, then a lot of people kind of were like, oh, damn, this guy's, he's bad news. This is kind of bullshit right now. So that's kind of the situation that's been going on. And man, he just won't accept defeat. He will not. He refuses to accept defeat.
Trying to get back at you a little bit on Twitter.
Oh, fuck, dude.
A little embarrassing for him.
It took every ounce of professionalism that I had to not just start like shit talking him. But basically, he's obviously, and he's trying to save his ass because these accusations that I'm pinning against him in this video that I made. The video that I made has enough hard evidence to terminate his channel if the right people see it.
It proves what he's been doing.
Yes, it's not even speculations or opinions, and or as quote unquote, it's not. He called my video bogus claims, and he said that my video was very opinionized and not factual, and I'm just like, are you? He actually commented on the video. He commented, this video isn't true. To see the truth, go check out my video. I explain it all. This video is very opinionated and unfactual. And after 160 hate comments, within the first day, and like a million people just destroying that comment, he disabled replies to it. And then, it's like, okay, you want to disable replies and advertise yourself? I'm going to delete your comment off of my video. So that was the end of that. But, and then he made another video today, and half of this video he mentioned some kind of like giveaway thing he's going to be doing for Christmas, and the other half was him basically giving a 2-minute brief explanation as to why I'm wrong. He didn't mention me or my name, and he was also like, I don't want any hate going towards these guys. He maintained, and this is why he's doing so damn good right now, is that he's maintaining a lot of professionalism. He's not letting it get to him, but I know deep and down inside he knows that he messed up and that we know what's going on, but he's maintaining an extremely high amount of professionalism and handling this situation very, very well. I gotta say, he's doing great.
But
it's
I'm
not going to be enough
by
to
how
save
well
his channel.
he's holding up.
Yeah, that's exactly. We all are. Trust me, we all are. And the fact that he keeps trying to spoon bullshit to people and lie to them, just basically to cover himself up, which is what I think anyone would do in his situation. Like he's so exposed to this point that like. He can't do anything to save himself anymore. Like he's so deep in this situation that he can't. There's no way he's gonna be able to get out without suffering some extremely huge consequences. But yeah, he he's gonna keep denying it. He's gonna keep possibly making videos saying that, trying to almost brainwash his subscribers into thinking that we're the bad guys and he's the good guy. But in reality, it doesn't matter what his subscribers think. It matters what the developers of the game think and what the representatives of YouTube think. And I think both of those sets of people are going to be getting this video very shortly here, because me and several others have contacted our networks about this issue, and I'm not going to get at anything or reveal anything, but this is starting to, as he said in his video, get blown out of proportion. And I wouldn't say this is getting blown out of proportion, but it's definitely starting to get looked at and sent to people with authority, because it's this issue is, it's not somebody coming in and like gaining a bunch of subscribers out of nowhere. This is like him taking and ruining people's livelihoods, which is it's just completely unfair, and it's really sad to watch. And unfortunately for him, this community of YouTubers, we're really tight, very supportive of each other. We absolutely, we love each other, right? We're all good friends, and we wouldn't do anything to hurt each other. And for him to kind of come in and think that he can take over, we're not going to let that fly, mainly because we're so supportive of each other. And it's just a great community of YouTubers. And we all want to see each other gain. And he obviously is in it for his personal gain, which isn't going to fly.
Yeah, so Tyrio tipped me off about this a couple weeks ago, and just kind of said, hey, go check out go search Clash of Clans on YouTube. And because he didn't want to, get really into it and everything. And so I did, and the entire first page was all Masterov's videos.
Yep.
And then maybe down on the second page there was something from Chief Pad and something from J-Rod and
Yep.
stuff like that. And so I was just like, wow, that's so obviously shady, because and this is the thing where if he says it's like a matter of opinion and people hating and things like that, like,
yeah, it's not even that.
Yeah, videos that had 5,000
millions of views.
We're above one. Yeah, sorry, we're above ones that had
millions,
2.5 million views.
Exactly.
Was way down below something. With
and it's just videos that were
5,000
uploaded
views.
19 hours ago.
Yeah.
The day before they're at the top page. And he actually recently went and deleted. So here I'll explain it. So Supercell was notified of this issue through several people. I'm not going to mention any names. And they looked into it, and he had no hack and no cheat in his description, and that's against Supercell's terms of service to have hack or cheat. So they emailed everybody, and they said, hey, get hack and cheat out of all of, stop putting them in your new videos that you upload, or you're going to get in trouble. And actually, Hurley got 2 videos taken down and 1 or 2 strikes put on his channel because of this, because of what Masterov did, which I think is completely unfair, which is such bullshit that Hurley has to suffer, while Masterov just kind of chills. But now the problem with Masterov is, here's where he really fucked up. He has, I think, somewhere between 700 to 900 videos, and he only took out the meta tags and the legal tags and whatnot from his newer videos. He still has hundreds of uploads that are illegally tagged, and each illegally tagged video equals 1 strike against your channel, and you can only get 2 strikes. Your 3rd strike and your channel is terminated. So he literally has several hundred strikes against his channel just chilling out there. And that's where he really went wrong. And I think he thinks that because he talked to Supercell and made some sort of agreement with him, that he's invincible, that he's fine. And I think he's thinking that, okay, just because my new videos are fine, therefore I'm okay. My old videos aren't going to affect me. But the problem is that those old videos are still getting views, they're still cheating the system, and they're still stealing views from everybody. So they still present a threat to the community, and they're still an extremely huge problem, and they are going to be dealt with.
And although Supercell came out and said, just worry about the new videos, just moving forward, don't do it, etc.
Yeah.
I mean, is he forgetting that there's such a thing as YouTube? I mean, YouTube hasn't gone in and changed their terms of service and their rules and stuff, It's like, even if Supercell is okay with you doing it, which Lord knows why they would be, but obviously YouTube's not going to be okay with it. Someone that's
man,
just...
if YouTube catches wind of this, dude, his channel will be down.
I'm
fast.
so shocked, though, that... So this is really surprising me that so White just released this video yesterday, but J-Rod, another famous YouTuber, also professional Call of Duty player.
Yeah, he's in TK. Yeah, he's a director for them.
So he started exposing Masterov a while ago.
I wouldn't even say exposing. He was just talking so much shit. It was the funniest stuff ever on Twitter, just watching this all go down. But yes, he was both exposing and just talking a load of shit on Twitter.
Which was awesome. I mean, it was hilarious, and it was. And so at first, people were saying to J-Rod, "Oh, you're just such a hater. You're just so jealous of him, and blah blah blah, and worry about yourself." And Masterov saying the same kind of stuff, like, "Oh, it's just because my videos are better than yours, and I do it more often." He
actually made a video saying that as well.
Yeah, I was actually wanted to ask you about that in a little bit.
Holy crap, that video had me steaming, dude.
Yeah, I saw some screenshots from it where he gave like the letter grades to different people's videos and
stuff. Really pissed people off with that video. I'll tell you that. A lot of people got mad watching that video.
Yeah, so I was just like, it just seemed like, how did Supercell not realize, like, when this first started happening, that when someone types in Clash of Clans, that he's the only one that comes up? Or, because if all these other people noticed it, how did YouTube or Clash of Clans not have some kind of way that they were tipped off about it? And did they just want to not deal with it? Or what do you think about that?
YouTube will not investigate something unless there's multiple flags on one video or channel. So in order for his channel to get investigated, his videos that have the illegal tags need to be flagged a lot. I mean, and here's the issue with YouTube. One video with illegal meta tags can get flagged 200 times and nothing can happen because maybe they just look over it, So it's really like you're shooting in the dark when you're flagging someone's videos. It might turn out that nothing is going to ever happen, and it might turn out that one flag can take down someone's channel. It really depends on just kind of what happens. It's so random. So YouTube isn't going to investigate him unless they get a lot of flags against him, which they might, because he has a lot of things to flag.
Yeah, and let me just interject real quick here. So this is not White saying this. This is me saying this. All our thousands of listeners, hey, if you have a free moment, go out and flag some of Master Ow's videos. It's just a fun thing to do. Okay, sorry.
I didn't.
It's
a fun thing to do.
It's all the rage these days. If you need waiting for your army to build or you're under a shield or whatever, just take a couple minutes and go check it out. So, okay, sorry.
Again, I didn't condone that.
That was just coming from me.
Okay, so now Supercell. Here's the thing with Supercell. They didn't know that anything fishy was happening with OV until I would say about 3 weeks ago when they were talked to by another YouTuber whose name we'll go unmentioned. And they didn't know anything about this until a lot of stuff started coming up. People started getting suspicious and people started like messaging Supercell. Some YouTubers started contacting. They're like, hey, this is kind of weird. Check this out. And so I don't think they've taken any huge jump because I don't think, truthfully, I don't think they want Masterov gone because, they flew him out to Helsinki. They've met him. He's a nice guy. He's friends with all the other YouTubers. I don't think they want him gone. I think they want him to improve his shit and get his shit together so that he can stay on YouTube and continuously represent them. But the issue with this is that he did it in an illegal way. And now that, I think me releasing this video was like there was really the quiet before the storm, right? Like all the top YouTubers were just completely dead. Nobody was uploading, and Masterov was just kind of taking over. And then now with the release of this video, a lot of people are kind of coming out and really kind of showing their true colors towards this. So, but Supercell, I think they're gonna start taking action. Maybe not. I really don't know. But I do know that they know about this, and I do know that a lot of people are frustrated and complaining to them about this because, again, this is just completely unfair. This is such a load of bullshit that I can't believe that this hasn't been resolved. But they do know about it, and they might start taking action soon. But I don't know. I'm not sure yet. But hopefully they do. But I know for a fact that they do know that something a little out of the ordinary is going on in this situation here. So hopefully they'll take a good look at it and kind of help resolve the situation because they tried, they sent the email out saying, hey, everybody need to take
they addressed it, so
they did try, respect. But so I'll give them that, but that's not going to be enough.
So yeah, I guess they at least acknowledge that it's an issue, but to me it's kind of like so you're aware of it, but why aren't you stepping? Well, anyway, I won't don't want to be Supercell bashing time right now, but But the thing that really struck me, so when I found out about this a week or two ago, the first thing that I thought of was all these pictures, in the latest Finland trip with all the YouTubers together and doing all this stuff. Him hugging on all the other guys, Galadon and Chief Pad and all of them being chums and hanging out together. And then he comes back and he's directly taking money out of their pockets. These people that he would call friends, he's costing them Lord knows how much money of their own income, their income that they use to live, their livelihoods. He's taking it and he's putting it in his pocket. And so it's just like that's just so despicable to me. Like it would be one thing if he was an anonymous guy coming up that, he didn't know any of these guys. He could kind of be the heel. He could wear the black hat. Like, I'm the guy coming up, taking all your viewers, motherfuckers. What are you gonna do about it? But the fact that he's like, I'm friends with you. Let's collaborate. Let's etc. And then just doing this to them is just. But so that leads me to the thing that confuses me the most. Just how classy everyone is being with not saying his name, saying he's a good guy. I mean, and you yourself, reiterating during your video, not to, personally denigrate him and, not, et cetera, et cetera. But everyone else, Daddy addressed it in a video, Molt referred to it in a video and stuff, but not saying his name and being so nice and polite and stuff. And so I don't really quite get that. I mean, like, to me, obviously he's a piece of shit. He's a fucking scumbag for doing this stuff. But these people who and I'm not even part of the YouTube community, which is, I guess, why I can freely say that without, worrying about it or anything. But he's not taking any money out of my pocket. And so, so why is everyone being so, like, just walking on eggshells around this situation?
So now, that's what it looks like. But in reality, it's not like that. There's a lot more talk and buzz around this than a lot of people think. But in order to make money and bring in income, you need views, and he's taken all these views away. So people like Molten, Nick, and Godson, they went and made videos with them to gain subscribers and views off of him, basically to keep their livelihood alive. Because if their YouTubes go under, their whole life goes under, and they're up the creek, and they can't have that happen because this is their life. YouTubing is their life. So they need a source of view flow, a solid source of view flow, and and they needed that partnership with Av. And they already met him, they were friends with him, and let me tell you that Godson, Teach Boom Beach, and Molt are not going to come out and they're not going to bash Av publicly, and they're not going to make him look like a bad guy, mainly because that they're friends with them, and I completely understand that. I do not expect them to come out and fully support me and whatnot. I've talked with them privately. And there's no bad blood between any of us, which is great. And I just, I have the utmost respect for these guys. I've got nothing against what they're deciding to do. It's business. That's what it is. It's business. And they're not breaking any rules. They're just trying to keep their livelihoods alive. They're trying to keep the YouTube dream that they have alive. And I have absolutely nothing against that. And that's where they're coming from. Now, there's other people like Daddy who came out and said, hey, dude, I'm getting hurt hard from this, and this is unfair. And then I know Clash with Cam made a video after I made mine.
Can I interject for 1 second? So this is what I don't quite get is why do they need to handle the situation with kid gloves in order to keep their YouTube dream alive, in order to keep, staying popular and everything? Like, why do they need to conciliate this guy who's just stabbing him in the back? How does that, like, how would them lashing out against him, or at least speaking out politely like you did against him, how would that hurt their channel or their livelihood? Like, that's the connection I'm not quite making here.
Let me be honest with you. If they did that, they would be perfectly fine. Their channels would grow fine. They would be backed and supported by the entire community like I was. My video, let me pull up these stats and say them right quick. This is incredible, the amount of support I've been getting for this video. And I only have 60,000 subscribers. Now imagine somebody really popular. This video, as of right now, has 44,000 views, 7,100 likes, 2,000 comments, and only 151 dislikes. The support on this video is immense, and I am extremely grateful and proud of, just happy for that. So if these guys were to come out and say something, then trust me, they would have full support, and nothing negative would happen to. But the problem is that they found out about this. They watched my video. This was probably partly my fault. I released my video a little bit too late. But at the same time, it was kind of perfect timing.
Mm-hmm.
But he got to take over the Clash community before he was discovered, and he made friends with those guys before they knew what he was really up to.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably have a great friendship going. They've got good collaborations going. They met with them in person. They hung out. So they've got a good thing going for them with friendship wise. And I don't think they want to ruin that. And they probably figure that their channels can be just successful, if not even more, with Av, and that's okay. But I don't think they knew about everything that he's been doing illegally. They didn't know about that before they became friends and before he became popular.
So
nobody really knew about it.
Them knowing him and liking
on a personal
him
level, yeah,
on
exactly.
a personal level made
Which
them
is
give
understandable.
him the benefit of the doubt. Okay.
I would say, no, trust me, it's not the benefit of the doubt. It's just the fact that they are friends and they don't want to publicly rip him, and they want to keep that friendship and professional kind of relationship with him, which I can agree with, and I'm totally fine with it, and I have no problem with it.
But I just don't get them being turning their cheek, being the bigger man, being like he's my friend, so I'm gonna let it slide or whatever. But for him, they're his friends, and he's stealing their money.
Here's what really just this is the thing that, and he said on Twitter, he's like, I don't know why you keep coming after me, and I was gonna reply this, but I decided not to. It's just that the fact that he keeps trying to portray himself as a good guy, it really pisses me off. That's the one thing that he does that I can't stand. He knows he's in the wrong. Over 50,000 other people, if that, probably more than that, know he's in the wrong. And this is just day 2. Trust me, this will get a lot more blown into the community as days and weeks go by. But he knows he's in the wrong, and people know he's in the wrong, but he keeps denying it, and he keeps trying to make himself look like the good guy. He disabled ratings on his videos because he was getting so much dislikes. Mm-hmm. And he put in the comments, he's like, don't worry about the dislikes. That's just from people who didn't watch my video and everyday haters. Mm-hmm. He's trying to cover and mask this situation up to the best of his abilities. And that really just pisses me off that he's doing that and trying to make himself look like the good guy when we all know that he's in the wrong. And the thing is, the beautiful thing about this situation is that I don't have to go out and bust my ass trying to fight him on Twitter, trying to fight him on YouTube anymore. This one video that I made, it solves all of the problems right now. I just have to sit back. I gotta wait for it to get to my network manager, to several other network managers. I gotta wait for it to get to some YouTube reps, and that's it. This video is being sent to the right places right now, and it's gonna get there. So I just have to sit back and just be patient and let everything play out. But he does so many things that I would never do in my life, and that I completely frown upon, and that I cannot verbally really complain about. Like right now I'm being polite about it.
So White wants to be polite. He's going to be polite. But this guy, so as a Clash of Clans lover myself, and who respects people who are good at the game, this is the stuff that gets me the most. When I went in and looked at his fucking stats. So Tyrael, who has, not even a fraction of the subscribers that this guy has 2 billion gold grab. It's way higher than that. It just hasn't, it stopped counting. He had more earlier, etc. Amazing attacker, amazing pusher, great insight on the game, just an expert. And this guy, Master Av, he hasn't even completed his gold grab achievement.
Oh my god.
He hadn't completed his heroic heist. He has less than 5,000 friend in need. Like, how do you even reach level whatever he is, without even getting, your first or second star on friend in need? Like, this is what just, infuriated me. Like, he's someone that people they're going to for advice about the game.
And he makes guides on this stuff.
yeah, he makes guides, and he has no business telling anyone anything about the game. He has these level 25 plus heroes or whatever, which, I'd cut off my pinky for his freaking heroes, and he's just paid all of it with cash,
Yeah.
gemmed all of it, obviously. You can tell by
From
looking
money
at his
he illegally
profile.
made off of YouTube.
Exactly, from money that he's taken out of the pockets of all these other YouTubers that are his friends and everything, and so it's just like this house of cards that's just, as a Clash of Clans aficionado, above and beyond all the shady business type stuff that he's done, just as a person who values the game and follows it and respects people who are good at it and put the time in and do it well, like the fact that this guy who's not good at it is a representative of the game, that people, when they're like, I want to find out how to play Clash of Clans, I'm new to the game. And sorry for everyone, I'm breaking up on this rant. I don't want to take White's time because this is about, I want to interview him. I rant plenty on the podcast. But this guy, people are saying, I want to learn about the game. How do I play it? Oh, well, this guy must be the expert. Every video on here is from him. So obviously he's the one I should follow. Let me go in and see how he does it. Oh, that's how you do it. That's how you should attack. That's how you blah, blah. And just giving him terrible advice.
Yeah.
And that's more than, the money issues and the betrayal and everything, is just the way he is just insidiously bad for Clash of Clans. Like, just making people worse. Just making new players worse at the game when they could be going and seeing people who are so good at the game and have such great insights, such great advice. They're going and following this dweeb who just isn't, he's not a real clasher. He's a parasite that is going in and making money off of the game that I love and that I, podcast about and everything, and it's just, yeah. So, okay, so I knew, White wasn't going to attack him, his stats and stuff personally, so I wanted to make sure everyone out there understands what this guy's profile looks like. It's just, it's disgusting. So, okay, anyway.
Let me read a comment, actually. So, this was a comment by Madden Davinic in reply to Masteroff's comment on my video. Unfortunately, I did not screenshot Masteroff's comment on my video, but he did. Here, now this was an amazingly put comment. And it's long, so let me read it. This is what Madden Davinic commented back to Masteroff. He said, look, I'm not declining the fact that you went to YouTube headquarters. My channel was created late 2010, and I've also been through many YouTube seminars and curriculums. When I saw this video, I remembered that they always mentioned what not to do, and I feel like you've taken these warnings and used them for your against terms of service gains. There are evident screenshots that use keywords like no hack that are against Supercell's terms of service. You are now in breach of 2 terms of services, and both companies know it. Supercell has told all of us Clash of Clans YouTubers that using no hack or any combination that is highly against terms of service, they will go as far as taking down entire channels if the use of it is too widely spread. If I were you, I would at least apologize for the wrongful information given to your subscribers. Your videos take up the first 2 pages of the YouTube search Clash of Clans. Even Chief Pat is not there anymore. He has been awfully quiet, and I don't think it's a coincidence. Furthermore, you've used Plants vs. Zombies to meta spam lines of keywords in the description. That's how many YouTube channels got taken down because everyone who uploads to YouTube on the regular knows about this. Worst of all, you've been doing, and this is kind of what we were talking about earlier. Worst of all, you've been doing this since the start of your collaboration with Nick from Teach Boom Beach and also Molt. And we all have started noticing it now. That means that your channel audience was built up from cheating the system, and I don't agree with you on that at all. I have grown my channel Madden Davinic from December 2012 legally, and will continue to do so. I hope this makes you rethink your statement, and then Madden Davinic. And so that's what he commented, and I couldn't agree more with that. And he's actually been extremely supportive
to everyone that there's all sorts of comments people about that, but the Madden Davinic is an OG YouTuber. I mean, he's one of like the kind of the founders of the whole Clash of Clans media community and everything. I mean, so that's not just
a genius.
What?
He's a genius, not he's like a child genius. This guy's a prodigy.
And so this is not just, I mean, there's all sorts of, people who are pointing out these things, but this is a guy who, I mean, should definitely be respected, and his take should be, really, carries a lot of weight. So I'm glad that he was the person that you read that quote from.
Yeah, he's a huge supporter in this whole issue. Trust he's been he's been great in all this. He's actually a really, really good guy, and I really respect the fact that he is outward with his opinions on this, and he's not kind of just sitting back like a lot of the other YouTubers. But yeah, he's an awesome guy for sure.
So when J-Rod started, flaming,
Bashing him, holy crap,
bashing him, and it was giving, those of us who were paying attention a lot of entertainment value, and it was.
Oh, you have no idea. You should have heard some of the Skype calls we had. Holy crap.
So it was very entertaining, and so after, I think that's kind of when Masterov got the feeling that, oh, people are catching on, about it. So then he came out with this kind of rebuttal video, a little bit of like a preemptive rebuttal video almost, because you could probably tell that things were brewing because, J-Rod's a prominent member of the community, other people would be taking notice and everything. And so in that video, in which he asserted, and I never watched I meant to watch it before this interview, but I didn't get a chance to.
Masterov's?
Yeah, but I saw quotes from it and stuff.
To be honest with you, I couldn't watch the whole thing. I was so pissed off from listening to what he was saying. I haven't watched the full video. I watched maybe like half of it, and I had to turn off because I was just so steaming mad.
So his assertion was that everyone else is also gaining followers and is their channels are growing, during this month or whatever it was. And kind of using, spurious statistics and things, and kind of passive aggressively ripping on people and stuff like that. And so if you could break down a little bit, I mean, maybe you don't know because you didn't watch the whole thing. If you could break down a little bit what his preemptive rebuttal,
what he was saying in the video?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what he did. He took up estimated stats from a site called Social Blade, which is a YouTube monitoring site. And he put them all in a spreadsheet, and he put cute little sucky comments on each person's stats. And he was like, look, this YouTuber's up 200% this month, and I'm only up 50%. And it's like, okay, that's because this YouTuber is a small YouTuber, and they're on their way to popularity. They probably just, I hit my personal break in October, last month. That's kind of when I hit my big break as a YouTuber. And this month is going to be another big break. I actually have gained over 4,000 subscribers in the past day.
Well, if there's any justice in the world, you will gain a ton of subscribers and notoriety because you were the one that came out with this, and or the most prominent person that came out with this. And sorry.
And I feel almost guilty to gain these subscribers, but at the same time, it's like I did the right thing.
Anyone could have done it. Anyone could have been the first to do it. And so I mean, I'm glad that someone finally did it because it could have happened. Everyone had a chance to do it. So
yeah.
But
his video basically was now if you were a if you were a YouTuber in this community, if you had any knowledge about anything YouTube stat wise, and you watch this video, you would know like, okay, this is such what he's doing in this video, he's obviously lying. This is such BS. But for a lot of people who don't know about all this stuff, who aren't YouTubers themselves, they wouldn't understand it. And they watch this video, and they're like, oh, Masterov's right. Look, everyone's doing better than him. So, he's obviously
over
right.
my head, so,
Exactly. So, and then he mentioned that he went to YouTube headquarters, which he did. He has vlogs from it and whatnot. He mentioned that, and he said, I went to these headquarters, I went to all these meetings, all these classes, and I learned good SEO from them. And
what's
that's
SEO?
SEO is it has stuff to do with advertisement and with your title, description, thumbnail. It's basically marketing. SEO is marketing. So he's like, I learned good SEO from them, and that's how I grew. But he never once mentioned exactly what good SEO was, exactly how he did it, and how he got to where he was. And that's because he knows exactly what he did, and he's not going to go out and say, oh, I broke YouTube terms of service. He's going to try to cover it up, which is exactly what he did. And he was just so vague in that video which is why I couldn't watch the whole thing. I could not watch the whole video because I knew that I knew why he was being vague in it. I knew exactly why he was talking about these stats in the way that he was. I couldn't watch the whole video because it just made me so mad, and I didn't want to just go do a rant on Twitter about it. I kind of wanted to keep it on the low. But that's kind of what that video was. It was basically a big deceptive video trying to trick his subscribers into thinking that he's the good guy in this situation and that none of this is true, which at this point is literally impossible for him to deny. Yet he's still doing it and he's still trying, and it's just making him look even more like an asshole. So he can continue to try to defend himself, but he's just making it worse for him at this point.
And he, in this video, I would say, had the opposite effect of what he was intending, which was that, oh, maybe I'm going to do this misdirection and these statistics, and then everyone will be like, oh, okay, and it'll blow over. But what it really did, it kind of woke the sleeping beast. It kind of pissed everyone else off enough, and obviously pissed White off enough that he's like, I kind of gotta, correct the the reality on this whole thing and kind of explain to people what's really going on. So yeah, that probably wasn't the greatest idea for him to come out with this whole
he did it again,
full
by
of
the way.
sleight of hand tricks. So that was my next
Tried
question.
it again.
Is what was the video, or I guess the video was mainly him.
It was today.
Giving away a bunch of gift cards or money.
Yeah, he's doing like some 25 day to Christmas. Like he's gonna be giving away gift cards every day, which is whatever. Sure, spend your
God knows
stolen
he
money.
has enough money to do it. So.
Yeah, he does. Trust me. He makes and he flaunts it around. He flaunts his success around. He has like #1 UK mobile YouTuber. He flaunts all these accomplishments and his money around like some kind of douchebag. And it just makes him look even worse. Yeah, exactly. It's like oh look, I bought this truck today. I'm gonna buy this car sometime soon in the future. And it's just like. Just make yourself look more like a douche, please. Thank you very much for that.
So in this video that came out today, did you get a chance to see what his rebuttal was to your?
Yes, I watched it.
What did
very
he
closely.
say? What could he possibly try to do? So in White's video, for those of you who haven't seen it, he broke down with proof, unless Masterov is going to assert that you photoshopped this stuff or typed up fake YouTube terms of service or whatever.
He didn't say that.
There's nothing he can do to
prove me wrong.
Yeah, to prove you wrong and to contradict what you're saying, which is solid proof right there in black and white, solid proof of what he did. So that's what I'm really curious about. I feel like if I was him, I would have crawled under a rock and, cut my losses or something. But,
yeah.
But so what did he say? What was his comeback?
It was pretty much, if you watched his first video, it was the same thing. He said the same shit. He was like, I'm going to be addressing these bogus claims that people are making against me. It's actually false. And he said this too, and which really, this also really pissed me off that he said that. He's like, YouTube and Supercell have looked over all of my videos, all of my tags, and they're perfectly fine. They said I'm okay, and nothing that I'm doing is illegal. And then he referenced the terms of service vaguely, like he kind of fucked himself by doing that. And he did the same thing on Twitter. He referenced the terms of service, and he's like, so they do actually allow this, blah blah blah. There's no blocks of keywords in my descriptions. Go watch my other video. I explain it there. Just the same stuff. And it's the same stuff that I proved wrong. So he proved nothing in this video. It was just another video basically explaining to his subscribers that don't know what's going on that everything's okay. And he explained, that why his ratings were off. And he said, just there's a lot of haters lately. He's not bringing light to this situation because he doesn't want to. I think he just wants this to all flutter away, and he's trying to ignore it and go, la 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 la. I can't hear it. And I think he expects this to just fade away. He expects this to, this is just a phase. I think he figured that, at some point he'd get hate for it, and he's getting his hate. And I think that in time it'll go away. And that, frankly, is not the case. Unfortunately for him, that's not the case in this. But yeah, that's that.
So yeah, that's it is interesting that do you think he is in and I guess I'll wrap up and get to more positive things here, but do you think he's in denial about it, or do you think he really understands that this is the end of the line and kind of the jig is up?
Okay, so if he watched my video, which I know he did, he knows to himself that the jig is up. He knows that people, I'm sure of this, and if he doesn't, then he's really one stupid mofo, but I think that he knows that he's in trouble, that this video exposed him, and that, every big YouTuber saw this video, people from Supercell saw this video, people from our networks who, we're getting hurt. Our networks' job are to stand up and support us. People from our networks have seen this video, and people from Supercell are going to and have seen this video. So I think he knows that his little secret is out, but he's gonna fight his ass off trying to prove that he's a good YouTuber and he's legit, and he's gonna try to stay on this YouTube community because he wants it. Mm-hmm. He wants the money flow. He wants, this is a great source of income for him right now. Mm-hmm. He's making an insane amount of money, and he wants to keep that. And I think he's gonna fight his hardest to keep that. But the issue is that he's the one who broke the law, not us. He's in the wrong and we're not, and that's why we're gonna come out on top on this, because we are not breaking terms of service and he is.
So this is kind of something I've always been curious about. How much money do people make from YouTubing? I mean, I'm sure it's a vast difference between someone with a smaller channel to someone with a massive channel, but how much money do you make, from a small channel? How much money do you make from a big channel, and what kind of determines how much money you make from it?
So let me go. I'm gonna pull my analytics. Only to reference myself. I'm not gonna say what I'm making. I'm not making a ton. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm not making like a killing on this. Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. Okay. So you get paid per 1,000 views on YouTube. Every 1,000 views, you make anywhere between $1 and $5, depending on, or I mean like somewhere around like $1 and $10, depending on your network, pretty much. And so let's see. He got 20 million video views in the month of October. Now, if we average that out, I would say that that's somewhere around between, this is going to be very general, like $10,000 and $40,000. Mm-hmm. Somewhere way up there. So he made a lot. He made a killing in October. Mm-hmm. And he's going to do the same thing this month, the same thing next month, and the same thing the month after.
Jesus.
And he's making a holy crap load of money.
So all you adults out there grinding away at your jobs that you hate, that's another reason to think about this guy. He's sitting down, just playing Clash of Clans and making, $10,000 to $40,000 a month right now. So that's kind of a sweet gig if you can hold on to it.
And if you do it legally, makes it even sweeter. Yeah, but he's making a killing right now, and he obviously, anybody in this situation would not want to lose that income, mm-hmm. just because it's so great. So he's gonna fight for it, and I can respect that, and I can respect a good fight, and I can respect a good debate. I love debating. I'm a huge debater. I don't know if you could tell from the video, mm-hmm. but I really like proving people wrong. That's kind of my thing. So I definitely look forward to kind of seeing how this all plays out. And if it comes down to a battle, which is kind of what it's getting to now, I'm all in. I am one of the YouTubers who I don't really care. Mm-hmm. I'm more of an informer than an entertainer, because I've done this before with Top Clan drama, with Supercell drama, with YouTuber drama, with update drama. I'm usually the YouTuber that comes out and says what I think on this situation, and I expose things for what they really are. I don't kind of sit back and just watch things happen. Mm-hmm. So and this is why I made this video to prove that I'm not going to sit here and watch my income and views slip out of my fingers, and other YouTubers aren't going to sit there and take it either, and that's kind of what he's got to accept if he's gonna do this, in Mr. Awe versus the community of Clash of Clans fight, that he's got to understand that he doesn't have many people on his side. He has a lot more enemies than he does supporters, and it's just spelling trouble, and he's just digging a deeper grave for himself the more he tries to fight it.
And so this is another unfortunate side effect of this whole thing, is he is kind of known for, and I don't know if it's known for, if it's a more recent kind of thing, of doing a lot of uploads, like kind of going for quantity over quality. And
he uploads a video of him wiping his nose with a tissue. I swear to God.
So here's the thing, for someone like me, I mean, there's some people who are out there just watching all sorts of YouTube videos. I don't get a chance to watch very many, and when I do, I want it to,
I'm the same way.
To
make it count for each video, make it count.
To make it count, thank you, exactly.
You don't want to waste time, yeah.
I want it to make it count. I want it not to be a waste of time, and so what he's doing, I mean, I'm never going to watch his videos anyway, so that's irrelevant. But what he's doing is he's telling other YouTubers the reason that I'm making money and you're not is because I'm putting out more videos than you.
Yeah.
And so kind of forcing people to make more videos themselves and
I
kind
don't know
of
if you've
just
noticed
flood.
people's upload schedule, but it's doubled, tripled, and quadrupled, and even tenfold what it used to be that people are uploading now, you know? Just from this whole issue.
And that's what's, I mean, for one thing, it's a pain in the ass for them to have to
Yeah, because you want to maintain a social life.
Mhm.
If you're doing 4 videos a day, you don't get out of your house.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you got to record, edit, and upload videos at perfect time so that they appear in certain places. There's a lot of – he's extremely smart. I'll give it to him.
Mhm.
There's a lot of strategy because if you upload 2 videos too close to each other, the second video won't show up in sub boxes, so it doesn't show up as spam. So you got to have a certain amount of hours in between each video, and he plans all that out. He's extremely genius, and this is where his YouTube training from the headquarters kicked in.
Mhm.
But, you know – I mean, just grinding 4 a day. I can't even do 2 a day. You know, because I have an active social life. I have a lot of friends I like to go out and hang out with. You know, and I got to sacrifice sometimes. I can't even upload for 2 or 3 days because of that.
And so I mean, it's shitty for YouTubers themselves, but then for viewers like me, I want to go and find, you know, a good video or a couple of good videos and watch when I get a chance. And so if YouTube is flooded with lower quality videos because everyone is feeling this need to upload more often and just come up with something to up, instead of thinking like, oh, this is a good idea, I think I'll make a video about it, sitting down and being like, I gotta think of a good idea, I gotta think of a video, and just kind of forcing it, then there's going to be lower quality videos. And so when I'm looking for something good, something that's, you know, worthwhile and worth my time, is going to be a lot more to sift through, and I'll have a much higher chance of ending up with, you know, crappy videos. And
yeah.
And so another thing that that I've heard referenced and that you mention in your video about him is the term view horror videos, or like view horror topics and things like that. What are some? Break that down for me. What are view horror videos?
These videos are used by all of us YouTubers. We all have videos, and this is what brings in our views. These are what brings in the most views monthly. This is what brings in the most money. It's the videos that are made solely to gain views. There aren't this typically these aren't series videos. These aren't like special videos. It's videos like, you know, the developer iPad videos, millions of views on all of those because those are just really interesting to watch, right?
Mm-hmm.
But those I wouldn't call that view whoring, because that's an extremely unique opportunity that people get to do to be able to use these iPods. So to upload this content is awesome. But base builds are really big ones. Strategy guides are really big ones, especially when you're shit at the strategy and you upload it anyways. And then just all these thumbnails and these weird like trolling bases. Those are all made. Almost every video he makes is 100% to bring in views, not to amuse people. Well, obviously, you know, you're gonna have to make the video decent so that people come back and watch. But these videos are made solely to gain views. Like I you know, usually a lot of us YouTubers, we made videos that we thought were fun, that we like to make. We made videos relevant to stuff we were doing in the game, but you know, we can't really do that anymore because those don't get the kind of views that they used to, you know? So we have to make shorter videos with, you know, worse quality. We gotta go for more quantity, and we gotta go for more videos that just suck in views, you know? Because that's what it takes nowadays, unfortunately. Because Clash of Clans is now a competitive YouTube community, and it's really never been like that. But that's just kind of something that we have to adjust to. But hopefully that won't be the case for too long. But I don't know. It's just kind of sad how it's almost been corrupted, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And maybe there's some way that people can make 2 different types of videos and indicate to their, you know, longer time subscribers and their subscribers that are a little more savvy, which ones are the ones that are the videos worth watching and which ones are the ones that are there to, you know, to bring in some much needed cash, and then they can know, you know, oh, when this, you know, this is the kind I want to watch, and this is the one that, you know, noobs who are just searching YouTube and want to look at funny things or, you know, different kinds of stuff, then that's for them to make me some cash. So it'd be nice if there was a way to indicate that to people. But I guess longtime subscribers can figure that out just by kind of looking at the description. As long as the description is relevant to the video, unlike some master descriptions and tags that have nothing to do with the video and say things like, you know, porn and stuff.
He called me out on Twitter for having misleading and spammy tags and thumbnails. Not thumbnails, tags and descriptions. And I'm like, out of all people to call me out. You know, we were going through his videos. He has porn
Yeah, I know.
as tags
That was the
in
thing.
several hundred videos of his.
That was the
And
thing that got me the most.
And it's like, you're gonna call me out when you have porn in a video game tag. Like, I tweeted, I'm like, I'm getting off of Twitter. I can't do this. I was like, oh my god. I was so dumbfounded when I was caught off guard. I really was. When he tweeted at me, I was caught off guard, and I was just like, I don't know how to respond to this. I'm leaving.
Yeah, that's. I guess at least he's trying. I mean, if I were him, I would have waved the white flag a long time ago. So at least he's fighting the good fight there. So as someone who doesn't understand too much about YouTube, you mentioned a few times your networks. What are YouTube networks?
So now this is where stuff YouTube-wise gets a little shitty for some people, because some people really get screwed when they're signing with networks, and some people get really fortunate and sign with good networks. What a network does is you sign with them, you give them a percentage of your monthly pay cut, and the typical one is a 70-30. You get 70%, they get 30%, which actually, that's a really big cut if you think about it. And for people like me, like that's a huge cut off of my paycheck, and it's kind of annoying. But what these companies are supposed to do for you is they're supposed to, advertise your channel through a broader, broader range of people, which, they do, which mine does. They're supposed to offer sponsorship opportunities, and they're supposed to have ways that you can contact them and get help when needed. Now, the problem with my company is that there's just too many people in it. There's like over 30,000. It's really hard to get to the support team and get questions answered. And it's really been, I've tried to contact them on this situation multiple times, and I haven't been able to, unfortunately. But companies like Omni Media are extremely good. I don't want to down talk my own company, because I don't think I can legally do that. But I love Fullscreen. It's a great, they're good. It just their support system is a little shitty. But Omni Media has a great support system, and my friends in that company that I have been talking to a lot recently, they've been able to talk to a lot of people from Omni, because it's just they're a great supportive. So basically, networks, you pay them and they help you is how it goes. And some are better than others. I don't know if you know the drama with Godson. He got gypped into a 5-year contract, and then they screwed him over on payments. He made a video explaining what they did and why it was unfair and how he couldn't get out of it and how shitty his company was. Within 30 minutes of that video being up, they contacted him, gave him a 90-10 raise, and then he took the video down. So, some people kind of get screwed over, and some people are fortunate enough to sign with the right company. So, but yeah, now networks. The beautiful thing about networks is that because you are their property, you are making them money. They don't fuck around with people who try to take their profit away from, like, anybody. So if somebody is really screwing someone, like screwing a community up, and you go to your network about that, and you have a very supportive network that's going to help you through this, they can they can move mountains to get stuff done. Like, networks have a lot of power in the YouTube community. So hopefully that we've been doing a lot of talking with our networks, and hopefully we'll be able to find something out or take some action, because networks are very, very, very powerful, and they are almost powerful enough that if his channel gets terminated, his network they're gonna go crazy, and they're gonna do everything in their power to get his channel back up and running, because he's making them an unreal amount of money. But unfortunately, that if my video and these claims get to the right people, there's no way that they're gonna be able to save of. But that's the beautiful thing about networks, is that they will stand up and they will defend you, and they will help you. So that's, networks are great to sign with, and I do like my network. It's just I really wish their support team was better, or they'd give me some kind of VIP support, because I actually have subscribed, because there's a lot of people in Fullscreen with like no subscribers.
I see.
But it's I guess it's just how it is. I did email them, and they said that they're going to take a look into the whole situation, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, networks are great. I really do. Yeah.
That's a good point, though, that they have something invested in this situation, whereas Supercell, it's just kind of a black mark on them a little bit, I guess. And YouTube, they're such a massive thing. Clash of Clans is such a tiny sliver of their overall, website and everything. But the networks that are making money off of it, especially making money from the really big YouTubers and just seeing a huge dip in their profits, they have some real motivation to get to the bottom of this and try to get YouTube to take action against.
Yeah. See, now when you mess with people's profits and income, it becomes a personal issue, and people will they will get what they want if you start messing with people's incomes, because especially these big companies, they do not mess around with this kind of stuff. If somebody is taking a significant amount of income away from people who make them money, they're going to get involved, and they're going to do some stuff, because that's a big issue. Money controls everything in media, and if someone's messing with money gain, then there will definitely be action that's going to be taken.
So before I kind of get to more lighthearted topics, is there anything else you wanted to say on this situation?
I honestly think we covered it all.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so now for some more, pleasant things that aren't gonna frustrate either of us so much. So this is a question I have, and I don't want to put you in a bad spot here, but what is your YouTube Mount Rushmore?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, who are your top 4 either favorite YouTubers, most respected YouTubers, most influential, however you would do it? Who are the 4 best Clash of Clans YouTubers?
Clash of Clans.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So I gotta say, Daddy is number 1 on that list, just because he really inspired me to do a lot through YouTube. He kind of, and just watching him do all these charity events and all these community events, kind of just, I learned how to be a good YouTuber from him. I learned how to be a considerate person, and I learned how to just kind of keep an open mind and help the community, rather than just try to make a living off of it. Help the community, do things for the community, give back to the community. He's all about that. And that's kind of where I learned that from, and I looked up to him a lot. He's probably, in my mind, he's my most respected Clash of Clans YouTuber, and which is why I took it so personally when he made that video and showed how hard he was getting hit by Ov. I took that extremely personally. The last time a YouTuber messed with Daddy, actually, his name was Mega City COC, and he actually got a strike filed against Daddy. And me and some other YouTubers, same issue. We made videos, we rallied support, and this guy was absolutely destroyed. His channel didn't go down. He just quit YouTubing because there was so much hate flowing his way that he couldn't handle it anymore, and he just quit. So I really took that personally when Daddy kind of came out and said that he was getting really hurt by Ov. He obviously didn't say Ov's name. But Daddy's definitely up there. And as for other Clash of Clans YouTubers, honestly, Pat is up there. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you're a Pat fanboy. Not really. He stands up for the right things. Now, he stood up for, in the past, things that I had made videos about, like,
oh,
yeah,
stuff. I remember seeing that with the whole top trophy people, the different cheap shielding and stuff. That was really cool. I forgot about that.
He has morals. He knows what's right and what's wrong, and he knows how to deal with the situation. And I really look up to him a lot. He's actually a really super cool guy. He's an amazing guy. He's hilarious. He's a really cool person. And I really look up to him a lot just because he's smart about things, but he still has morals. He doesn't let money and shit kind of get in the way of his views. He doesn't go out and make all his views public because he's got too much of a following to do that. But he definitely knows right from wrong, and he's definitely up there. And as for others, I don't really keep up with all the YouTubers. Madden Divinic's way up there because I just got a lot of respect for him as a person, and he's 15-year-old genius. He's a really cool guy. Dub War's up there as well. All the OG YouTubers I have a lot of respect for, which includes Hurley, J-Rod, and more so because I've formed these relationships with them that are really good, and I'm great friends with a lot of these guys. And to see them hurting kind of hurts to watch, but I've learned a lot from them, and I have a lot of respect for all of them. Some more than others for certain reasons, but all of them in general, I do have a lot of respect for.
Next question here: what improvements or updates would you like to see in the game?
I want to see the goddamn hero AI fixed. That is all I want in my life, is to have my queen to get the hell off of walls. This is still an issue. I want that fixed, for one. That's numero uno on my wish list. I'm gonna make a video about this too, probably tomorrow, a Christmas speculation wish list. I was actually thinking about that, little sneak peek. But I want to see a new league for 4,000 cups and above, because
that's a good idea.
3,200 to 4,400 is too big of a span, and 3,200, champions isn't that hard to do anymore. So I want a new league. I want another league. and a new kind of just basically a new league to break, a new feat to climb for people, I guess you want to say.
People,
Yeah, new goal.
Target.
Yeah, I want to see that, and that just needs to happen. That's needed to happen for a while. What else do you want to see improvements in this game? I don't want Town Hall 11, but I feel it coming. Honestly, I think it's either going to come out in December or January. Town Hall 11, I think.
Soon.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
it's either within the next couple months or within 6 months. Like they're probably going to come out with it sometime soon, maybe, possibly. Hopefully not. I don't want that because I want to be able to farm up my base and do a little bit of trophy pushing before I have to worry about being a Premier Town Hall or like a sub Town Hall again.
Yeah.
But really, other than that, I don't know. I haven't really put a lot of thought into it to what I want to see more in this game. I mean, there's a really awesome, diverse strategies. There isn't like one strategy that's controlling. There's a lot of different strategies. I mean, most of the glitches and stuff are patched. I want to see iMod gone. I don't think that's gonna happen, but that'll be cool. And other than the hero AI and whatnot, and the new league, I really don't think that anything else needs to be kind of tweaked with this game. I'm sure they will for the better, but in my opinion, everything looks pretty good from what I can see.
Yeah, and that's something that I've kind of thought about is in terms of, right now everything's going so smoothly, the balance is so good, all the different glitches and unfair advantages and things, so many of them besides the external stuff has been taken care of. And so that's kind of my thoughts on Town Hall 11, is it seems like it would be a good moneymaker for them. And so I've been kind of surprised why they haven't done it just to rake in the millions of dollars. But the game is so popular, and I feel like it's such a precarious balance because like Witches came out over a year ago, and then it was in whatever 2 years all the troops came out, or in 1 year basically all the troops came out, all the dark troops, all of the regular troops. So in that 1 year or 11 months or 13 months, whatever how many troops came out, 15 or something. And then in the next year, one troop came out. And so they knew that it was such a perfect balance of, for attacking. And I mean, and still, it's kind of coming out that attacking has a big advantage over defense and everything. But you really got to know what you're doing to 3-star solid bases and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's kind of been my thoughts on that. It seems so weird that they're not pumping out new content to get people to gem things, but I think they have it so finely tuned that even, a little bit of some troop can...
new stuff, new defense,
can just throw everything out of whack. And so Town Hall 10 would be, you'd have to...
11.
Yeah, sorry, Town Hall 11, you'd have to include so much new content,
new troops, the map that they were talking about, how the map might be bigger.
Oh yeah,
it's like this game it's going to be so, because after when Town Hall 10 came out, this game was so different. It completely changed the game, and Town Hall 11 is going to be even more of a change. So I'm really interested to see what Town Hall 11 is going to be like and how Clash is going to be after that. Because there's a lot of speculation how because the loot economy right now in Clash is horrible for upper town halls, and with the Town Hall 11 coming out, it'd probably be even worse almost, especially for people at Town Hall 11.
It'd make it a little better for 10s, I'm sure.
But but for farming up 11, like that would be tough.
Yeah. It would have to. My one kind of prediction on 11 is I'm curious if they'll incorporate the water somehow, because they just have that water just sitting there, and so I don't know if they'll.
That'd be cool. Have
some kind of boats or something involved, which would be interesting. But yeah, that's something that's been so. I kind of have a feeling that it won't be until the popularity or something starts to decline a little bit that they'll bring it out, because when things are going so well, why mess with it, But,
yeah, exactly.
But I'm sure they have some kind of, board of trustees or something that's like, looking at their watches, when the hell are you going to put out this giant moneymaker that's going to... Yeah, so anyway, that's Town Hall 11's always an interesting subject, and it seems like it would have come out a while ago, so there must be a reason that they're holding off on it. Okay, well, yeah, that 4,000, the new league thing, that's such a good point. There's a league every 200 trophies, and now there's a gap of 1,200, 1,300 trophies without any league, so it's kind of silly.
Well, and just 4,000. It's a new 1,000 number. I feel like it's so far off from 3,200 that it shouldn't even be in the same league category as that. Because people
Yeah.
like 4,000 is like the number to hit. If you can get above 4,000, then that's elite as hell.
Yeah.
So I feel like they should definitely give people more props by making that new league. And I don't know, it'd be a lot cooler, and the loot bonus would be better, up that high. And I do applaud them for doing loot bonus improvements. That helped a ton.
Yeah.
That was actually probably one of the best things I've ever done with this game.
Yeah.
So I would definitely love to see the league though. That'd be sick.
So my next question, do you have any plans at all for a Twitch channel?
I actually do have a Twitch channel, and I think I have around 11,000 followers on it. It's just that my home internet and my computer are both so bad that I can't stream. I've streamed maybe twice, and they both just did not work because my internet's not good enough and my laptop's not good enough for it. I'm actually gonna be upgrading my internet pretty soon here so that it's gonna actually work. And I'm buying an Alienware 18, and that's gonna cost me an arm and a leg. It's actually costing me twice what my car costed. This is an expensive ass laptop, so I'm gonna be buying this thing too, and that's gonna help a lot as well. Yeah, I will probably be streaming over the summer though, because I have absolutely no time to stream in YouTube. I'm so busy. Like when I'm not, if I'm sitting at home doing nothing, then I'm just taking the day off, because usually on weekends I'm either out with my friends or out with my girlfriend. I really don't have a lot of time to kind of sit down and play Clash and stream for several hours at a time. I barely have time to sit down and play Clash for a couple hours in general, but I do definitely want to get into streaming though. I've done it before, and I was a big streaming fan last summer, so it's something I do definitely want to do. I just need to be able to find time for it.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I look forward to seeing that at some point. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my questions. I've taken up a lot of your time today, so thank you so much for hanging in there with me.
Yeah, man, it's great being here.
Is there anything else you wanted to say before you get going? Any shout outs or
shout outs, man. I have a whole list of that. Shout out to everybody who follows me on Twitter. I love you guys. No, but I don't know. I just shout out to everybody who's supported me through this. Whether it's outwardly supported me, people like J-Rod for a little bit there, Matt and Davinic, Clash with Cam. Those people like T-Bot, Clash of Clans Comedy. The people who came out and supported me and stood by my side. Tyrael as well. I really want to give them a huge thanks. And the people that are kind of behind the scenes, staying quiet, but still I have been chatting and support me as well. I do really want to thank them as well. But other than that, that's kind of it. It's just this whole situation has been absolutely insane, and it's great to see that this community, as strong as it is rallying together to kind of rid it of this guy.
Yeah, the villain.
Yeah.
Well, so everyone, follow White on Twitter, which is
and you
and me, yeah, at TrueSonBoaz, and it's WitelightningHWD, so White WITE lightning with no N HWD. I give the disclaimer since it's all audio, no visual here.
Yeah.
And YouTube, Mystic7 with an L instead of an I.
Yeah, man, I'm pretty sneaky,
You make it hard to follow you. But,
I do, man.
People do it anyway. So yeah, so definitely make sure to check him out. And you can by following him, for one thing, on YouTube, you can see that 25-minute video that we referred to so many times, which is really interesting. It's really worth a view because he breaks it down so much more than we were able to here, and with the visual aids is really just lets you see so much more what's going on, and just lets you know, confirms that it's an issue, and that it's not just something that he's complaining about or whatever. And and so following on Twitter, you can, I'm sure, follow the drama as it unfolds, as the villain tries to strike back and defend himself as he slowly drowns in his own lies and inadequacies and everything. So yeah, I kind of hate that guy right now. But,
I can tell.
And yeah, so unlike all these, you big YouTubers making tons and tons of money and needing to kind of protect their livelihood, this I do for free, so I can say whatever the hell I want about that douchebag.
Very
So,
true.
there we go. Okay, well, White, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
And yeah, have a good one.
All right, there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. So yeah, again, you can follow me at TrueSonBoaz on Twitter. You can email us clashofclanspodcast@gmail.com. Of course, website clashofclanspodcast.com. And most importantly, you can call us at 42427-CLASH. Our outro music today is from Rhyming Remedy 14. That's his Twitter handle as well as his YouTube channel. So yeah, enjoy the music from Rhyming Remedy, and as always, keep it clashy.
Yo, it's Remedy here. This one's a shout out to my #1 game. That's you, Clash of Clans. Also shout out to Supercell for making this awesome game. This is in dedication to you. Here we go.
This is a Mickey Mouse.
You know I'm starting up my app every single damn day. Clash of Clans is the game that we all know and play, and it's so damn addicting you just can't put it down. Get all the trophies cause we know you want the crown. Gather all the gems and don't forget that golden pig. Try to steal my goods, bitch. Troops be gone, ain't gonna blame. Jealous of my level, I know you are my biggest fan. War the reckoning, hell yeah, call that Clash of Clans. Lay down your finger and open the gates of hell. You gotta break down their walls and drop the rage spell. Now your units walking hit twice as damn fast. 100% their basement, you know that was a blast. Then return onto your base and realize damn you're out of troops. Head on over to your barracks, question what you should do. Plan of attack, here it is, go ahead and take your notes. You need to tanks, call them giants, call them max, hella pro. Now don't forget about your medics, talking spells or them heals. Without them you are gonna lose, and your units gon' get killed. Now where's your damage dealers? One may call them DPS, tier 1 barbs and archers, they gon' be put to rest. Just kick it up a notch, cause we know it's costing more. Spend money, make money, without it you be poor. Just wait a few minutes, now your troops are good to fight. Make your name and clan proud, win battles hella tight. You know I'm starting up my app every single damn day. Clash of Clans is the game that we all know and play, and it's so damn addicting you just can't put it down. Get all the trophies cause we know you want the crown. Gather all the gems and don't forget that golden pig. Try to steal my goods, bitch. Troops be gone, ain't gonna blame. Jealous of my level, I know you are my biggest fan. War the reckoning, hell yeah, call that Clash of Clans. Dream, baby, dream as you stare at the boards. World leaders, bases maxed in their camps with their hordes. Their league is out of yours, you can always admire. Champions of Clash of Clans, damn sure do you inspire. But let's be real, we know you cheated cause we know you got the dough. Supercell loves us all for the support we all show. Love you too for what you've done, you've made my phone so fun. Our hearts are yours, congratulations, let you know we all won. Call me a clan leader, you could say I know it all. Be sure to donate troops or your clans make will damn sure fall. Another thing that offends your base while upgrades a necessity. Expensive as they are, they sure to lead to victories. Your king and queen will lead your base. Attack the fools when they displace, they attack and fail with style. But in my eyes that's I see disgrace. Clash of Clans, what could say you're a victory alone? Boy, am I thankful for which you is who I am. You know I'm starting up my app every single damn day. Clash of Clans is the game that we all know and play, and it's so damn addicting you just can't put it down. Get all the trophies cause we know you want the crown. Gather all the gems and don't forget that golden pig. Try to steal my goods, bitch. Troops be gone, ain't gonna blame. Jealous of my level, I know you are my biggest fan. War the reckoning, hell yeah, call that Clash of Clans.
Skilly beep beep beep